Franchise brand developer Matt Kline with OXI Fresh joins us to discuss the power of prioritizing the needle-moving activities, big wins, and nudity in Oregon. And now it's time for
Wins of the Week!
Doing the bull dance, feeling the flow, working.
You can do it!
Yes, Thrive Nation, you can do it if you put your back into it. To quote the incredible American philosopher and poet Ice Cube, I believe, right there. So, Matt Kline, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Hey, would you consider Ice Cube to be one of the best poets and philosophers of our generation or potentially any generation? Let's start off with a win right there.
I can certainly say, certainly generationally for me, he was there when I was growing up. I don't know how much of a philosopher he is, but certainly a poet.
The negativity, the judgment, unbelievable. Here I am trying to have a wins of the week, and you just won't.
Know.
I mean, there's Socrates, you know, and then there's Ice Cube. Those are the two, Socrates and IQ. You know what I mean? Those are the two. Well, okay, you know what I'm saying? It's big. Those are it's a big category. So okay, so we move on now. Fine. Don't give me courtesy laughs. That's fine. I move on. I don't need the courtesy laughs. Okay. So now, wins of the week. Great things are going on at OXI Fresh. For those people who don't know, Matt Kline is the franchise brand developer, which means he is the man with the figurative cowbell. He's the guy at OXI Fresh going, hey, let's award a franchise over there. Let's open up a new territory over there. And he's been doing it for a long, long time because he cares. OXI Fresh has been flourishing. It's been growing. There's over 160,000 Google reviews. You got franchisees from coast to coast getting it done. Let's start off with what new territories have just opened up and joined the OXI Fresh team?
Yeah, so we've had a very busy part of June so far. We have a brother team that just signed up in North Orange County. So they're going to start running the franchise here in this next month. So they just completed their training and all of that. So they're actually going to be operational in about 3 to 4 weeks in that territory. We have St. Joseph's, Missouri, which is right above Kansas City. That's a brand new territory. They're actually training today. They came for their second group of training. Came out a few weeks ago just for a 2-day discovery, decided to move forward. So they're actually on the very, very front end of moving forward as well. And then we have a brand new franchise in the Kennewick, Washington market. Gentleman's going to be purchasing that area. He's actually going with 2 territories. And so we have a good group that are coming in right there.
I have a question.
In this early part of June here.
I have a question for you here. And this show, we're going to air this show probably in July-ish because I've got some travel plans and that kind of thing. So it'll feel like June, though. If you're listening right now, it's going to feel like June. But I have a question because you have awarded franchises in a lot of territories. Do you have any franchises in Portland, Oregon? Do you have any in Portland, Oregon at this point?
We are getting ready in Portland. So I have somebody right now that I'm working with. She's a very, very successful real estate agent in Portland. She is also part of the winery culture out there too. And she is looking to potentially add another income stream with OXI Fresh. And she's right there in the heart of Portland. So
okay, real quick.
We're not quite at the end of that process, but we will be with her shortly.
Now, Matt, I don't want you to Google this because if you do, it's going to get crazy.
Okay, I'm not going to Google it.
I'm going to Google it with my eyes closed. But Portland, I'm serious. Portland, Oregon is home of the world's largest nude bicycle ride. Are you aware of that?
Oh, yeah, I've been to it like almost every year.
I'm being serious. Are you aware of that? Are you aware of that fact?
I'm not. I did not know that was a thing.
Listen, they aired our radio show in Portland, Oregon. That's one of the markets. And I was doing my research on Portland, like fun facts, trying to get myself ready to talk about the Trailblazers and, Clyde Drexler. And I just Google searching like Portland fun facts, and it's like it's home of the world's largest nude bicycle ride. And I thought, in honor of you, a man that I've never seen do nude bicycle riding, I just put in honor of you as a way to celebrate you for being the champion of freedom you are and for awarding new franchises. I would queue up audio of this. So I'm going to hit play feel free to not Google this, but here we go. Let's see. It says this video maybe I understand maybe inappropriate. There it is.
I think I'm right there. I think that's me.
I just wanted to make sure that wasn't why you were awarding that territory.
No. It's neither that or a prerequisite, but we might have to add it.
What are the prerequisites? What kind of people qualify? Do they have to live in towns where nudity is popular?
That's one of the factors.
Okay.
We'll have to reconsider if they don't have that as a staple of their community.
Okay. What are the criteria? If I'm listening right now and I go, okay, I am in a community that favors nudity like Portland, how much money do we need to buy an OXI Fresh?
Yeah, you need to come to the table. If you are the one that's going to do the jobs in the beginning, you want to have about 55 to 60,000 or so. If you are not going to be doing jobs and you have employees from the very start, you want to have a little bit more cushion, that maybe more around like the 60 to 65 range. But no matter how you run that, $38,900 is your franchise fee, which includes territory, equipment, product, and training. Okay, the reason I say around 60 is because once you buy the franchise, you get the training, you get the equipment, you're ready to start operating, you want funds to be able to run the business and essentially get it to a cash flow positive state. You want to pay for things like insurance and local marketing and a low vehicle cost per month, miscellaneous expenses like business cards and hats and T-shirts and employee costs. So, in total, you want around 55 to 65, depending on how you're running that business.
Now, somebody out there wants to know if they are in Portland and they want to save a little money on an OXI Fresh, do they have to buy uniforms? Matt?
Yeah, so you will want to have all of your employees, including yourself, uniforms, right? Okay. T-shirts logoed OXI Fresh, hats logoed OXI Fresh. Owners have red T-shirts. Typically, technicians have blue. For about $500, you can outfit two guys for the whole year. Okay. And they can have those. You can order them a la carte, or you can bulk order them depending on how many employees you have.
Now,
you do need to have those available.
So I buy the uniforms, I buy the gear. Even if I'm in a pro nudist area like Portland, still got to wear the uniform, still got to have the gear, still have to have auto wrap, have all that stuff. About $65,000-ish to get in the game. Now let's talk about some people that are in the game that are having huge wins. I'm talking about OXI Fresh franchise owners that are getting it done. I'm looking for some real people, some real names, because I want to trust but verify. And if I'm going to buy an OXI Fresh, I got to know if this system works, Matt. Give us some wins. Who are some OXI Fresh franchisees who are killing the game?
Yeah, we have a few, and so one of them, which I'm very excited for him. I actually worked with him when he first started. His name is Rob and Mary Cole. Yeah, they're out there in the East Bay area, pretty close to San Francisco. They're actually in like the Antioch Concord market. They just expanded to their second territory. Boom. In the same area, so now they doubled in size. Now they own like a little bit of the Walnut Creek, Oakland market.
Awesome.
Very driven individuals. They work as a team. They've done everything they need to do. They're in a very affluent area, very tech savvy. So, they have competitors there that are also, up to snuff in terms of marketing, but they're doing the right thing. They're getting the reviews. They're growing. They have employees that are at the high notches in terms of our customer satisfaction.
There we go.
So they're doing all the things and all the levels that allow them to continue to grow to a point where they did slow roll at the beginning, and now they're able to grow to their secondary territory, which is not uncommon.
That is awesome.
So kudos to them doing the right thing. Now they've been able to grow.
Now, give us maybe one more that you can think of, one more franchisee that's just really the kind of franchisee that would make Harry Carey say, "Holy cow!" One that's just really, really dominating. Where you go, that right there is an OXI Fresh franchisee destined for greatness.
Yeah, so Troy Kittleson in Parker, Colorado. His story is pretty unique. So he came to the game a little bit late in Colorado. He only had the opportunity to own one territory for the longest time. So this tells you how good you can be in one territory. He never had the options to expand to multiple territories. So he's our number one unit economics franchisee in the country.
Wow.
He's got the most techs per territory. But the cool thing about that is he got to a point where he grew, and then he moved to the southern part of Colorado. Now he owns multiple territories, including Colorado Springs. So hopefully he does the same thing he did in the one territory, the three. So he's an extremely good franchise, unit economics leader per territory. So we continue to have him, grow. And he finally got the opportunity, made a deal with the guy that owned Colorado Springs. Now his opportunity is greater than it's been before. So he's a champion amongst our franchisees.
Matt, we have Josh Wilson with Living Water Irrigation here on the show, and he, for the listeners out there, he is fully clothed. We're not in Oregon. We're broadcasting here in a pro-clothing community, one where clothing is not optional. You have to wear clothing inside the studio. It's a new rule we put in yesterday, and he's here with us. And Josh, what questions do you have for Matt Kline about Oregon, franchises, nudity, that kind of thing? What questions do you have for Matt Kline here?
Well, first and foremost, I'm hoping that in the future we don't have to do the disclaimer that I'm fully clothed.
Well, after a couple of weeks of this policy being in effect, people will just know.
Hey, Matt, so the first question is, how angry are you that the NBA championship is in Canada?
Well, as a true American, I liked watching the game. You got to give your kudos to the guys up there.
Yeah.
But, I guess it's kind of odd. It's the first time it's ever happened. I wouldn't say I'm upset or mad. I was it was good to see someone else win besides the Warriors, but it wasn't as good as seeing the Nuggets win. I'll tell you that much.
I have a follow-up question after you ask your next question, Josh. So, Josh, go for your next question, my friend. What do you got? What do you got for Matt? Anything about running an OXI Fresh franchise or just running the day-to-day business? Because OXI Fresh is successful because the actual OXI Fresh owners are implementing. They don't just listen to the systems; they implement the systems. They are doers out there at OXI Fresh.
So, Matt, literally along that exact same line there. So I get to have conversations constantly with folks who pontificate and think and want to have 4-hour conversations about the meaning of the sun coming out today and all that. So the franchisees that are successful, that are doing it, that are killing it, these couple that you have mentioned today, that are following the systems and actually adhering to y'all's processes and procedures. Could you give the listeners out there, so maybe this will impact that one guy out there who's like, man, I know I need to get reviews. Man, I know I should put a checklist. Man, I know I need to get a script for my incoming calls. Can you the people who are killing it, who are implementing it, can you throw a number, maybe you already have it in some metrics, the difference between people who just talk about it and the people who are actually doing it, Matt?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, the difference between it is it's a priority for them. And I've talked about priorities a little bit before. But if you are always saying, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this, I mean, that means that you're not doing it, right? One of the reasons we implemented our coaching program, which is proactive, is that we want to hold our franchisees accountable, right? Because part of this process is living up to what you said you were going to do, much like a job interview. You say you're doing all these things and you get the job, you don't do those, you're probably going to get fired. Right? For us, we don't fire you. We take you back to the drawing board and say, why aren't we doing these things? Right? So if we have someone that's consistently meeting their quotas, getting the reviews, right, making sure they're doing their upsells, make sure they're getting their customer satisfaction, they're going to get those customers back next year, but they're also going to continue to grow. So you could look at the difference of maybe $20,000 a month in sales. Right? That's a big number. That's over one employee, just if you're doing the things that you need to be doing. So in 6 months from when you start, if you are doing all the things and getting all your checklist items done and your daily activities are creating your monthly goals and your monthly goals are getting you to your quarterly goals and your quarterly goals are getting you to your year-end goals, then you should be growing. And by the end of that year, you have 2 full-time technicians operating at a high level, producing 15, 20, 25, 30,000 in sales. If you don't do those things, right, you should expect your sales to be around 5,000, 6,000. Right, which is not even a half a schedule for one employee. So those items should be a priority. And if they are, your business will thrive and you can create more jobs. And at the end of the day, your bank account's going to be better. Your business is going to be better, right? You're going in the positive instead of the negative. If you don't do those things, right, then it's just not a priority to you. You do not want to be successful, right? It's just a thought. It's not an actual thing that you're doing.
Matt, I have just a thought here to wrap up today's show. Just a thought.
Yeah.
I feel bad sometimes I do this, but I called up there to the office and I couldn't get a hold of Rob, couldn't get a hold of Chris, Couldn't get a hold of JB. Now, again, I called at 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, and I didn't call using a phone. It was more of an outside. I was outside. Matt, Rob, come out, that kind of thing. And no one picked up the phone or let me in, So I got there. Some of the early people got there. The call center people got there, and I've been embedding a microphone on your body for several days now. And I've been hearing that you've been practicing your post OXI Fresh career as a politician, because you're creating that time freedom at OXI Fresh now, where you have the time freedom and the financial freedom to do these kinds of things. You can pontificate about the political situations around the world. And so I've got a little audio from your recent talk you were doing in the bathroom, kind of hyping yourself up. You didn't realize I was there with you, but this is what I heard, and it might be you. Let me just cue it up real quick. I want you to hear it before you respond, and then I'm going to ask you for a hard stance on your opinions of the nudity in Oregon. Okay, so let me cue this up, and then I want you to make a hard political stance as the new mayor of Portland. Hypothetically, if you were the mayor of Portland, you could do whatever you want. What is your stance on the nudity in Oregon? This is a serious question. I laugh because it's so close to my heart. You laugh or cry at moments like this. So let me hit play. Here we go. Oh, he's passing out flags. Here we go.
You have already got the picture here. I was about to say, I'm sure there's some disappointed people here. You know what? You know something? You know something?
Here we go. He knows.
If you had told us 1 year ago that we were going to come in third in Iowa, we would have given anything for that. And you know something?
You know something? Here we go.
You know something?
This is good.
Not only are we going to New Hampshire, Tom Harkin, we're going to South Carolina and Oklahoma and Arizona and North Dakota and New Mexico. And we're going to California and Texas and New York. And we're going to South Dakota and Oregon and Washington and Michigan. And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Ah!
Matt, that was a great speech, by the way. Great speech, great form. You, as the new mayor of Portland, 20 years into the future, you got OXI Fresh franchises everywhere. You got that time freedom for days. What is your ruling on nudity in Oregon? And specifically, would you allow the nude bicycle race to continue, or would you make it larger, a bigger event, a smaller event? Would you shut it down? Tell us.
Well, it's exactly what my speech just said in the bathroom. I'm going to take it to all those states, and we're going to end in Washington. It's going to be a national holiday.
Stay inside. Like tornado sirens everywhere. Stay inside. So listen, if you're out there today, sign the petition. Don't let Matt have more than 10 OXI Fresh franchises, because if he has that kind of time freedom, nudity's coming to your city.
Definitely.
Matt, I appreciate you, my friend. And if you're out there wanting to buy an OXI Fresh franchise or wanting to learn more, go to thrivetimeshow.com. That's thrivetimeshow.com/OXI Fresh. That's thrivetimeshow.com/OXI Fresh. Fill out the form to escape from the norm and to earn an absurd amount of money by running an OXI Fresh franchise. Learn more today at thrivetimeshow.com/OXI Fresh. Matt, have an awesome day. And now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom! All right, let's just say that you're out there listening today and you have a website for your business. The question I would have for you is, are you getting the most number of leads possible? Are you ranking high? Wow.
Touching the canvas.
Can't feel my face. Or are you ranking
Whoa.
in the Google search engine results? Again, I ask, are you ranking high? Or are you ranking low on the Google search engine search results? Take a moment today and do a Google search for the keywords that you want to come up top for and see where you are ranking. We have Josh Spurl, a CPA from Canada, and we have Dr. Timothy Johnson here from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Josh Spurl, how in the heck are you?
Doing pretty good, Clay. Yourself?
I'm doing well, man. Doing well here. We're not broadcasting from the Man Cave studios as normal, so we got a little bit of background noise there to contend with, but we're here, and I wanted to see if you could share with the Thrive Nation approximately how long you and I have been working together and how that's impacted the number of inbound leads that you're generating as a result of your Google search engine ranking and internet marketing.
Well, we've been working together, Clay, now for almost a year. It was about a year ago I came out to my first conference, and then we started with the coaching program shortly after that. And, our Google leads have gone from, something that we would generate, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 leads a year to, we're talking about 3 to 9 leads every single week.
And now we have Dr. Timothy Johnson in the box from Alabama, Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, so I'm at Southern Eye Consultants. It's in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We heard about you on the podcast, and I had a lot of trepidation at first about getting involved, just making sure it was legit. But all my expectations have been exceeded.
What concerns did you have about our legitness or lack thereof?
I was just concerned about back-end upselling, what I was getting into.
That's what I found. My entire career,
Yeah.
I had been. Had you guys been to Dr. Tim? Had you been to other workshops or had other industry coaching before? Because I had hired a lot of them, frankly, and I just found I spent. I would be lying if I said hundreds of thousands. It's been more than that.
Oh, we hired somebody to do our website right before we found you.
Yeah,
and it was 3 or 4 months of your coaching service, and we still haven't launched that website yet.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So if somebody out there's thinking about filling out the form, if someone's thinking about emailing us to info@thrivetimeshow.com, that's info@thrivetimeshow.com, and they have a little bit of hesitation, just a little bit, I don't know, just a little bit, what advice would you have for them, Dr. Tim?
First of all, come to one of the conferences. You'll see that he may dress like Bill Belichick, but my wife's a Pats fan, so that was a real selling point.
Nice.
She thought you were a hobo, but I said, no, he's just Bill Belichick. She goes, okay, you can go.
Nice.
But it's also month to month, so try it, and if you don't like it, cancel.
That deserves a mega point. Yeah. So again, what has your sales gone up? Have you increased your sales? I mean, where's your financial? I'm not asking for the hard number here, but as a percentage, how much are you up since you started with the program? 4 months ago versus now?
Our sales have gone up 20%. We're looking to scale Southern Eye Consultants, and just the number of patients who come in because they found us on Google has gone up a lot. I text you once a week. You paid for yourself just in somebody walking in. So.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Again, if you're out there today and you feel stuck, just email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. info@thrivetimeshow.com. Let us begin to do a deep dive analysis on your website. We'll tell you what's wrong with it. We're going to do a 37-point audit of your website. Our member of our team will call you. They'll go over it with you. They'll break it down. You'll understand what you need to do to improve. I'll give you the final words here, guys. So start with you, Captain Spurl, Josh Spurl, CPA. As Captain Canada and as a man who's been to 2 workshops now, we got an audience, picture 500,000 people listening here. What is the advice that you would tell them?
I think they got to come out to a workshop. It's the best one that I've ever seen. I find that most of the workshops I've been to, you're sitting around all day for one good idea, and you're getting a good idea every single hour at these workshops.
Dr. Tim, what is the word of encouragement, maybe discouragement, maybe the motivation, maybe the verbal tasering? What advice would you give for the listeners out there today?
I'd say the worst idea you can do is not starting now. Just call and start now, and you'll be better off for it.
You heard them right there. Thrive Nation, go to info@thrivetimeshow.com. Email us to info@thrivetimeshow.com. Allow us to do a free 37-point analysis of your website. We'll tell you what's wrong. We'll tell you how to fix it. If you're not ranking high enough in those Google search engine results, it will literally cost your company millions and millions and millions of dollars. But don't take my word for it. Go to thrivetimeshow.com and click on the testimonials button. And as of the time of this recording, we have over 1,000 video reviews from my clients I've had from 2008 up until now, from conference attendees. You're just an email away from becoming a game-changing success story. Email us today at info@thrivetimeshow.com. And we like to end every show and every shameless testimonial session with a boom. And so now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom.